Oh, hello, and welcome to the Pokemon Laboratory of Standards and Measures. I'm the head researcher, Professor Redbud. Now, what we do here at the Laboratory of Standards and Measures may not be as well known as some of our more famous counterparts, like Professor Oak and his research on human-Pokemon relations, or Professor Sycamore and his study of mega evolution. But what we do isn't any less important, okay? It's super important. You see, while they're writing catchy articles that journalists will take out of context or p-hacking their way to more grants, we're making the whole damn thing possible. At the Pokemon Laboratory of Standards and Measures, we catalog, maintain, and research all of the different shapes and sizes of an ever-growing list of Pokemon. Without this information, modern Pokeballs wouldn't be able to make the complex set of calculations required to take your little battle buddy and turn them into a weightless ball of light. In fact, the list of Pokemon is getting so large that we had to send the Galar region an unfinished catalog. So, Pokeballs there won't be able to catch every Pokemon. They're probably going to be pissed about that when they find out. But we're not here to talk about that. No, we're here to answer a question that Pokemon enthusiasts have been clamoring for years. Which Pokemon is the densest? Now, I'm not talking dim-witted. I'm talking M over V, baby. Mass, how much of the Pokemon that there is, divided by volume, how much space the Pokemon takes up. Now for mass, we've collected this data over and over and over again. But for volume, not so much. In most cases, all we need is height. But if we want to take this seriously, we're going to need two other dimensions. Lucky for us, we've created 3D models of every single one of the Pokemon. This is a 3D model of the Pokemon Blastoise. Now, a 3D model is made by taking lots of triangles and combining them together to create the illusion of a complex object. The more triangles, the more realistic the model appears. But taking the volume of a 3D model is still not very straightforward. So I thought we could use primitive objects like cubes and spheres and cylinders to approximate it. But that's not really exact, and even if it were, that's a lot of Pokemon to, try and get right. So what if we use a computer? Well, really for us, there's a website called stackoverflow.com. Now, on Stack Overflow, you can get answers to any questions you want, computing or otherwise. And I asked, how do I get the volume of a 3D model? And I found the signed volume of a tetrahedron. To illustrate how the signed volume of a tetrahedron works, I'll show you in 2D. We start by taking each edge of an irregular polygon and calculating what's called the normal. This is a line with direction that runs perpendicular or at a 90-degree angle to the original edge. Now we pick a random point and use it to draw a triangle for each edge. Adding these triangles together will give us the area of our shape. But you'll notice that there's actually a lot that's outside of the shape. And if you know anything about geometry, you'll definitely be suspicious of this approach. Fear not though. This is where those normals come in. If the normal points mostly away from our point, we treat the triangle as a positive area. And if the normals point mostly towards our point, we treat the triangle as a negative area. When we add all of the positive areas together and subtract all of the negative areas together, we end up with only the area of the original shape. Now we can do the same thing in 3D, except we don't have an edge, we have one of those triangles. And instead of making a triangle, we're making a tetrahedron or a pyramid. And we calculate its volume instead. So now that we have the algorithm in place, it's time to find out who really is the densest Pokemon. Weedle. I really thought it was going to be Staryu. Yes, Weedle, the densest Pokemon, just as I had hypothesized. But why Weedle? I mean, the result kind of seems counterintuitive. He's one of the lightest Pokemon in the Pokedex. And Staryu is kind of the perfect specimen for being dense. So, what gives? Pokemon like Snorlax and Onix dwarf little Weedle in comparison. But they are also very large, where Weedle is very, very small. Weedle is a measly 0.3 meters tall and smaller in its width and length. That tiny little body structure is still propping up an astounding 3.2 kilograms. This slim frame is what sends little Weedle over the edge, awarding him the title of densest Pokemon at a whopping 443 kilograms per meter cubed. Your boy's still less dense than water though, so he'll float. In fact, all of the Pokemon float, even Onix. That seems incorrect. And then I round out my rest of my party with just Staryus. Never involve those motherfuckers to star me though. Because Staryu, he is a carrier.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's my team.